ready to make your way to the West Coast for what promises to be a stellar flower season. Every year, the West Coast National Park's Postberg section welcomes thousands of visitors through its gates as the landscape is transformed into 1,000 colors. This year's peak viewing time is expected between the middle of August and the middle of September. Pierre Nel is the West Coast National Park's acting manager. He's here to share some tips with us budding flower watchers. Pierre, thanks for joining us. How can you tell that it's going to be a good flower season, and how do you know when it's going to be a good flower season?
Yes, good morning, and good morning to the viewers. So yes, we've had good rains this year, and that's the first thing. It's usually important for a good flower season. And the rains have come, and we've had rain this weekend again. So we, as you correctly said, we're expecting a really good season, and the flowers will coming into full bloom in the latter part of August and the early part of September. We've already got a lot of flowers, so visitors can already visit us, and the areas like Postberg and the Mooimark area, these areas are all open at the moment. Postberg is only open for 2 months a year, so I'll encourage visitors to take advantage of that and visit us. It's only open for August and September. Yeah, we're expecting good flowers, so now's the time to visit the West Coast National Park.
What does the flower season mean for the towns and the economies in that area around the West Coast?
It plays a really important role for our visitors in West Coast National Park, and also to the area in general, because we have a lot of people traveling to the area at this time, so they make use of all the facilities in town, they make use of facilities in the parks. So that's really important for the local economy. We've just come out of the winter months, which is usually a quiet period, so the springtime is really important in that respect.
Local tourism has always been important, but even more so now that we can't welcome international visitors. So how do visitors from Johannesburg or Durban or the Eastern Cape make a trip of this flower season and take advantage of what's on offer?
Yeah, so what we find is visitors enjoy looking at the flowers. They usually make a full trip of it. So our visitors from Gauteng and from provinces further away don't only visit the West Coast National Park or this area. They will visit this area as one of their stops. So there are a lot of other areas you can also visit. Darling, you can visit the Namakwa land. So many visitors make a trip of it. And one of their stops is West Coast National Park, and that's a good way of visiting the area.
What makes the Postberg section so special? It's closed for most of the year. Why is it such a special place?
Yeah, so Postberg is really a special place. I think firstly, the area has been, over the years, has been grazed, first by livestock and recently by game. So you have these large open fields which come into full bloom in the springtime. The other advantage is that we've got a very well developed road network in Postberg. So you can travel with a normal sedan car, you can see all the areas. We've got some really nice picnic sites, really nice areas that are where you can view the Langebaan Lagoon as well as the open ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. So it's really a nice area. It's really compatible to visitors, yeah, an easy area to travel to. It's close to Cape Town. So yeah, those are some of the reasons why we get large numbers of people visiting us to see the flowers. And the flowers are fairly consistent in Postberg. We have flowers every year. Depending on the rainfall, but you can always be assured of seeing flowers in Postberg.
Pierre, final question. You're saying the flowers are pretty consistent, so we haven't seen any sort of shift in the flower season as a result of climate change?
I can't say we have at this stage, to be honest. So it's largely, what we've seen is largely dependent on rainfall. In years where we've had drier periods, you recall some years back we had a drought in the Western Cape. That had an impact certainly on the flowers. I mean, they still bloomed, but the season was slightly shorter. So and now in the recent 2 to 3 years we've had good rainfall again. So things are very much back to normal again in the Postberg area.
Pierre, thank you so much for your time, and look out for me. I'll be there in just a few weeks to take a look at those flowers. Pierre Nel is the acting manager of the West Coast National Park. If you're planning a trip to Cape Town, then make sure you head up the West Coast as well.